Braun Strowman versus Drew McIntyre. Fight! Welcome back to the ACB Wrestling Talk channel, your main source for wrestling news, topics, discussions, previews, all that kind of good stuff. I am your host, Alexis Carrillo, and last week's episode of Raw created something very interesting, a very interesting scenario for the next few weeks. Now, over the past few weeks, we've seen kind of how the Shield has gotten some dissension between Dean Ambrose and Rollins and Reigns, and how everyone is expecting Ambrose to turn on his Shield brethren in the future, among those, myself included. What was interesting about last week is that the Shield got their win over the Pack once more in their third consecutive match. On that note, I am pretty much tired of WWE always having repeat matches and not knowing how to mix and match, and not knowing that mixing and matching superstars in different feuds can create opportunities for future feuds. But anyway, we'll get back to that in a future video. But back to this, the Shield got the win over the Pack, and then we got some dissension between Ziggler, Strowman, and McIntyre. Because Ziggler was the one who took the pinfall, Strowman, obviously, being more brawn than brains, he got Ziggler up and attacked him, thus having Drew McIntyre claymore him. Let's make that a thing, claymore. He claymored Braun Strowman, put him down, and, if I remember correctly, he pretty much left on his own, and then obviously accompanied by his tag team partner and also tag team champion Ziggler. But I get a lot of a sense that fans want this to happen, because two things you've got to consider right here. Braun Strowman is someone the fans want to cheer. Braun Strowman is someone the IWC wants as a babyface, and they were extremely upset with WWE when they turned him heel. I had no problem with him being a heel because he's a big man, he's strong, he's overpowering. Everything about Braun Strowman tells me that he will do whatever he wants when he wants, and that's been a part of his character for the past year, for over a year now. So I didn't have a problem with Strowman turning heel. Fans want to cheer him, fans want him as a babyface, that's fine. Drew McIntyre on the other side is a perfect heel. He's got the looks, he's got the physique, he's got the moveset, everything screams heel, top heel, I should add, top heel from Drew McIntyre. So it's very exciting to realize that maybe in the future we could be having Strowman versus McIntyre. And like I've said this over the past few weeks. We are very near the end of the year, where feuds just come out of the blue, where rivalries and feuds aren't taken as seriously, but right after the end of the year, we get into WrestleMania season. We get into the road to WrestleMania, and that's when WWE has a plan. So I don't think Drew McIntyre and Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley as heels or as top stars on Raw, play into WWE's plan for a WrestleMania main event involving Reigns and the Universal Championship. But as of right now, I think one of these three men is a future challenger for Reigns and his Universal title. Strowman, he's going to be taken care of at Crown Jewel. I don't think they're going to drop the title from Reigns that soon. But then we're going to have McIntyre or Lashley challenge Reigns for the title heading into the new year. And then we get this whole road to WrestleMania thing that WWE has going on for him. And we're going to have a returning star, part-timer, big star, come back and be a part of a main event feud, because that's just how WWE rolls these days. On that note, today is October 22nd, 2018, meaning we are just 6 days away from the first ever WWE All-Women's pay-per-view event called Evolution. But hey, you wouldn't know that because they haven't really promoted it as such. It's been some really lazy promotion, from some really lazy build-up by WWE towards this event for two reasons. Number one, you have Crown Jewel on November the 2nd, wherever that may take place. That we still have to wait and see how that plays out. But a lot of attention has been going on to that pay-per-view event. But a second reason being that normally when you're building up towards pay-per-views, towards a normal pay-per-view, you have the entire show to build up towards it. You have the entire roster to build up towards it. On the flip side, you got Evolution, a pure women's pay-per-view, and WWE hasn't taken that approach with that on their build-up. They haven't focused at least half or maybe half or more than half of their shows of Raw and SmackDown towards building up that pay-per-view. They've pretty much done the traditional 1 or 2 matches here on a Raw, 1 or 2 matches here on a SmackDown, and that builds up to a pay-per-view, which for a full pay-per-view is not enough. So just wanted to put that out there. And you can also expect the Evolution preview show right here on this channel, ACB Wrestling Talk channel, on Wednesday. But another interesting thing to note from last week's show, that amazing jaw-dropping promo from Ronda Rousey. The Raw Women's Champion came out and she just laid it all out on the line for the Bella Twins. And it was surprising. She did kind of, flip some words around. It wasn't a perfect promo, but hey, she's getting better. And like I said, that jaw-dropping comment about how, about how Nikki Bella found her way into John Cena's bedroom, and even then, John Cena, kicked her out. And I'm just paraphrasing here. I'm sure that's not the exact words she used, but that was jaw-dropping. That was like the oh shit moment of the entire broadcast of Monday Night Raw. And one thing I want to point out is, I'm not a fan of, the audience and fans out there, WWE fans, pointing out the fact that, oh, the Bella Twins have not accomplished anything in their lives, and, everything they've earned in WWE has been because they're married, or because Brie Bella's married to Daniel Bryan, and because Nikki Bella was dating John Cena. I don't agree with that, because they're personal situations, everyone's been in a relationship, and that's not an excuse for a success or for failure. And people just use it as an excuse and as the scapegoat to hate even more on the Bella Twins. And I'm okay. Hey, if you don't like the Bella Twins, that's fine. There are wrestlers and characters that I don't like myself. But when you start using excuses like these, that's when they bother me. Because nobody in their entire life has gone, has gone and been successful, or has gone and failed without the help of friends or family or someone else. Just wanted to point that out there to all the fans who are, who blindly hate on the Bella Twins just on that fact. But back to the promo. It's been a very, like I said, a lazy build-up, a lazy feud. But they really revved it up. It went from a cheap attack from behind by the Bellas to Ronda Rousey, which we all saw coming, that wasn't really that exciting for this feud, to, oh snap, we got this whole back and forth segment, and I really hope Nikki Bella comes out, and both the Bella Twins come out on tonight's episode of Raw, and call Ronda Rousey out on her shit, because it's only fair. And you build up this feud, and unfortunately for me, and unfortunately for a lot of fans, I think Ronda Rousey versus Nikki Bella is going to be the main event over Charlotte versus Becky, which I wouldn't make the decision myself to do that, but anyway, I digress. I believe that's going to be the main event. We'll just have to wait and see what goes on tonight's episode of Raw. Surprise appearance from last week's show. Apollo Crews interrupts the very entertaining Elias, and that's become a tradition on WWE programming. It's happened on Raw countless times. It's happened on pay-per-views countless times. Every time you see Elias out there playing on his guitar for a performance on Raw, you can expect someone to interrupt him. In this case, we had Apollo Crews interrupting him, which was surprising because, as far as WWE fans know, Apollo Crews is still a part of Titus Worldwide with Titus O'Neil. And I gotta say, his promo, him coming out, it was very pleasant for me. I can definitely get behind a push for Apollo Crews because he's got the athleticism, he's got the moves, he's got the wrestling set, he's got the power, he's got everything that screams a star. And I can really get behind an Apollo Crews push. The one thing I've got to say about this entire thing, about, that could halt his push, is that even when you have Apollo Crews come out, you look at him, he's a big, strong man who can do amazing things in that ring, who should be threatening to you and to anyone he wants to face. The one thing that could halt all of this up is that even when he's angry, and even when he's mad, and even when he's trying to threaten you, you can tell that his face doesn't really convey that. And I'm not trying to put him down. I think that's one of his qualities. You look at him, and we've all seen Apollo Crews smile. That's a trademark smile, and he's perfect smile for Apollo Crews. He's a perfect babyface right now. To try to intimidate someone, that's a whole different question. He's going to have to work on that. But as far as Apollo Crews coming out last week, I'm perfectly fine with that. And I hope they follow up with that in a right way tonight. Then we have, for the official lineup, for official preview for Raw's tonight, for Raw episode tonight, we have Bobby Lashley and his whole alliance with Lio Rush. He's been targeting Finn Balor. We'll just have to wait and see where that goes because, like I said, I believe Lashley could be a future challenger for Reigns and the Universal title, which means that he would have to take out Balor, or at least beat him in a few matches to be put in that position, which I know doesn't make a lot of fans happy because it's Finn Balor and they want Finn Balor to be in the main event. However, you need heels right now. Lashley is building himself up as a heel. I think Lashley ultimately goes over in this feud. And finally, just a side note, the whole Dean Ambrose and the Shield thing, seeds keep getting planted, tension keeps unfolding. We can all expect this, and, we can all expect twists and turns and, backstage meetings between the Shield brethren, all leading up to Dean Ambrose finally turning heel. That's what I'm expecting. That's what a lot of fans are expecting. We'll just have to wait and see how long it takes. So anyway, that's the Raw preview for tonight, October 22nd, 2018. Make sure you tune in to the USA Network to catch everything that goes on down tonight in Monday Night Raw and on the build-up to Evolution this Sunday. If you follow wrestling news, topics, discussions, previews, all that kind of good stuff, consider subscribing. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you dislike this video, hit the dislike button. That's it for me. Till next time.